Hello and welcome back to some more Blood Bowl 2 Mayhem. So yeah, been a while since I actually casted a game of good old Blood Bowl, and yeah, just thought I'd just relax a bit and yeah, we'll be sitting back and watching a mostly live game. It's partially played through just to the second half, really, watching it from the beginning. It's going to be between skavens and good old high elves. And here comes the kick. Down goes the frame rate. Anyway, brilliant coaching for Ratsy Corley United. Interesting name, to say the least. But there you go. Yeah, they'll be going on the offense first. And yeah, looks like the Ratties managed to get a what do you call it? The bribe, and yeah, so they must be getting inducements. Let's have a look at both teams actually while they're beating each other. So got Catcher with Mighty Blow, interesting thing to get on a double. And a whole bunch of linemen, two blitzers, another lineman with Wrestle, and a loner lineman. I think we had a loner lineman for the Ratties, and just one single level up on the Storm Vermin by the looks of things. Which is to get rather bog standard, yet very useful guard skills. So very nicely done indeed. And yeah, we've got three gutter runners and a fryer. Pretty standard starting build for the Skaven. We'll see what sort of damage they can do against the elves. God, this game really doesn't seem to cope too well when it's running at 30 frames a second. That sucks. Huh. Interesting. Well, I guess, yeah, why not follow that up? I mean, that's a loner anyway, so if he's going to block with him, you better hope that oh, I see. Better hope that he doesn't have to reroll that. And there you go. Doing a foul before even trying to pick up the ball. A very bit of a risky thing to do, especially against sort of team like an elvish team, which has got high agility. Their speed is not particularly spectacular. That being said, though, I mean, the blitzers do have movement allowance 7, and Catcher has movement allowance 8. Interesting getting Mighty Blow on him there. Huh. Very interesting. And here comes the blitz. Huh. Didn't quite work out though. I'm guessing it's probably going to get block and then frenzy next. So why not? It's just forming up around the Ratties there, trying to maximize the amount of block dice they get. So pretty standard stuff so far. Notice that they're not actually surging towards the ball, they're just waiting back here. Pretty wise thing to do, as yeah, the Ratties are pretty fast and they can just sort of run through many things. Yes. Run through many obstacles, should I say. So yes, relatively conservative play, but solid play nonetheless by the good old elves, the high elves, that is. Actually, what was the name of their team? I didn't quite catch that really, I was too busy with other stuff there, but there you go. In any case, yeah, Ratties just looks like they're going to be securing a little bit of the field for themselves on their right flank, and yeah, possibly moving their thrower up a bit. Probably going to be passing off to either this guard runner or maybe this one if he can actually dodge out. We'll see what happens. Also just blocking them away. Probably going to be dodging this guy around. Maybe he could use him as a receiver as well, or he could just use him as defense. That's pretty understandable as well. So going to be defending against that. And okay, could have actually maybe moved him one more forward, but then 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not quite. So he still could have moved him forward, I think, by 1, but oh well, whatever. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So at the very worst, he might have been in contact with him, but that was about it, really. Still could have technically have done that really with him being there, but there you go. In the case, looks like Elves just going to be marking the receivers. Interestingly enough, not going for the gutter runner. Interesting. Well, there goes the lineman. Casualties already starting to mount. We've barely come into the first half of the game here. Well, there we go. Nicely done. And of course, going to be doing that. Actually, maybe he couldn't have moved him forward in that case. Should have been paying attention to these guys here a bit more. Whoops. Ah, well. Yeah, this is going to make things a bit tricky. How the Radies going to get past this? They're most likely going to have to dodge, although wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, actually they can still blitz. They can blitz them away. That might be a better idea actually. It'll be a safer approach, and yep, that's exactly what they're going to do. Speak of the devil. No dodge for you, bastard. Indeed. Oh, and an injury. Well, there we go. That's what you get for marking the ball carrier. So there we go. Very prudent play actually by the Radies, leaving him back like that. I don't know why I thought he could have put him on forward like that, but there you go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all he has to do is one single dodge. He has to catch the ball beforehand. Yeah, I reckon he should be fine. Let's see if that's what they'll do. Also, very nice blocking with the gutter runner there. Well, why not if you can afford to do that? And yep, here we go. Here comes a throw. Perfect distance for a quick pass, and here comes the sprint, and away he goes. Yeah, it's very nicely done. Almost textbook stuff that we're seeing there. Ah, elf plates, that's what they were called. The elvish team. Elven team, whatever. And there you have it. It's a pretty fast touchdown. That does give the High Elves a decent chance to score one of their own there, in which case they could turn it into a 2-1 grind, but we'll see what happens. The Radies do still have a bribe. I don't think I've seen much in terms of fouling yet, but I'm sure they'll take the opportunity. Oh, actually, they did try to foul once before, before trying to pick up the ball. I suppose, okay, they did have a bribe, so it wasn't as risky as it first appeared, but still an interesting sequence of moves to order, I'll say that much, but there you go. So lost a single lineman, but the Elves have lost a loner lineman and another lineman as well. So overall the Radies are slightly ahead. Now all they have to do is defend. Either that or get the Elves to score quickly, and then they score quickly again. It's going to be a bit of a stretch to do that in the turns remaining, even with Skaven, but we shall see what happens. So looks like Elves setting up for... oh, okay then. Ouch. Yeah, looks like they're going to be setting up for the catcher to act as a receiver on the Radies' right flank. Makes sense. Huh. Okay, well, why not? Block with all your might. Actually, one thing I should have checked. Do the High Elves have a thrower? They don't actually. Interesting. I wonder if they lost it, maybe. And that's why they've got the loner lineman instead. That's possible. Well, they do have an apothecary though. Maybe they lost him before they got that. Kind of sucks, but what can you do? And yeah, it looks like they're actually not going to be surging forward with the catcher just yet. They're just going to keep him in the middle there. Oh, never mind, actually passing the ball to him then. Interesting. So they're going to try to run it down then, I wonder. It's possible. Elves can certainly do that, but they're known a bit more so for their passing game, but we'll see what happens. They've still got plenty of moves to try to score, thanks to how fast the Radies scored, so it'll be up to the Radies to try to make some sort of defense happen. Now, will they be able to? Maybe. I guess we'll find out. So just man marking a few guys here, presumably going to be blitzing him. Yep. And is he actually going to try to go with... yeah, he actually is going to try to attack with the loner Radi. Huh. Interesting. Oh, I thought they actually were... they put him there to actually use him as a... well, to use him to push the guard runner towards the carrier, but I guess not. Interesting. He can sort of dodge away from that. The High Elf team does have to be careful though. The coach has to be careful in that he has only one single reroll, and he's probably going to be passing it to somebody else rather than running it down with the catcher. Although it does look like he's still... Yep, it does look like he's got... Getting tongue-tied. It looks like he's going to be running it down after all, actually. Oh, very nice. Just using the catcher as the runner. Why not, eh? Possible receiver there, I guess. Just have to try to finish off the cage. 3, 4, 5, 6. That should do the trick. Or that, I guess. Well, it wouldn't really be a cage, I guess, when we're on the screen. This is sort of more a cage. You could say, nice dodge there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, he could even do a GFI if absolutely need be. So very nicely done, actually. So a bit of a cage, a bit of a screen. It's going to make it a bit tricky for the Raddies to get through. Can they defend? That is the question. Interesting, the Skaven actually getting sort of caught out of position here. Normally, it's the other way around. Normally, other teams get caught out of position against Skaven, but nope. Looks like the Skavens, they kind of concentrated their forces a little bit too much towards the left there. And now dealing with elves, they're not as fast, but god damn, they are agile. Ouch, better reroll that. Plenty of rerolls though, nothing to worry about. Should be right, mate. Huh. Interesting. I guess I'm going to be putting him back in, maybe. Still not much of a defense, but it's better than nothing. Oh, and he's actually going to leave it open. Because he doesn't want to risk the GFI, I suppose. Oh, well, reasonable enough, although he risks that GFI, though. Interesting how that works. And actually forms up on him as well. Huh. Okay. Well, if the High Elf team does score this turn, 3 turns for the Skavens to score, it actually is possible for them to score another touchdown. We'll see what happens. Interesting enough, not going after this gutter runner. I suppose it doesn't really matter that much in the end. He'll, yeah, just run it down anyway, but still, he manages to get it. Good old touchdown. Yes, those snobby elves can't help but laugh at every single opportunity. God help us if they actually win this game. We'll see what happens, actually, because it was a game in progress, partially over. We don't know the final outcome, which is good. It's all going to be fresh for all concerned. Yeah, it could definitely go either way, at least from what I saw briefly before I put it back to the first turn. So it should be pretty interesting to see what will happen. Both teams seem to know what they're doing. The Raddies did sort of get out of position a bit, but nothing significant. Nothing significantly bad, but that's the thing though, against relatively evenly matched players, every little detail like that, it really counts. Especially when you have to take probabilities of different actions into account. You really need to be playing as tight of a game as possible, but that's right. We'll see what they'll do to possibly try to score themselves. I guess they'll be using these two as possible. Getting tongue-tied. I guess they'll be using those two as possible receivers, and I should have just blocked at this guy first. But oh well, what can you do? There goes the first reroll, and just as well that they've got Frol with built-in skills of sure hands and what was the other one? Pass, I believe. Yes. Huh. Okay, interesting. Using him to mark. Oh, I see. While blitzing the other guy. Huh. Okay, well. Just gonna stay there. Ah, okay, probably go there or not. Interesting. Could have done that. Could have put him here to act as a possible surf threat, but suppose he doesn't want to do that. Oh, that's a bit risky. Actually, running that far away from the ball. They better hope they can pick it up then in that case, especially now they're retreating that guy. Ah, okay, to do a foul. Well, why not, eh? Down he goes. Oh, dear me. Better hope that accepts the bribe. Outstanding. Huh. They didn't get much use out of that bribe, but better than nothing, I suppose. Okay, that's going to be somewhat... Oh, he's passing already. Okay, then 4+ pass. Interesting. Alright then. So he's got sort of a screen formed around the gutter runner. They're not going to be able to attack him directly. Well, there's going to be very little probability of them attacking the gutter runner directly in either case. So he's probably about as secure as he's going to get. So 2 more turns to go. Still has 3 rerolls, 1 apothecary, 0 bribes. There's 1 and 1 for the elf team. It's going to be very tricky though. They might be able to make it happen, but we shall see. Probably should just pick this guy up again, but what the hell. Okay, just going to be standing back there, forming a pretty solid wall actually. There is a... Oh! Away he goes, and nope, just going to leave it. Perfect. Knows not to try to reroll that, since it is a loner. So yeah, I mean, just looking at how things are going. So this guy's a loner. Could just put him there. Yep, why not? Put him there, and yep, blitz. Oh, okay. I was thinking he maybe blitz this guy instead, but I suppose that can work as well, actually. I suppose these guys actually they're sort of out of position as well, all the way towards the right of the Raddy's perspective, basically. Interesting, interesting. This could definitely work. Going to do maybe a handoff to get it to pass that much more quickly. We'll see what happens, or maybe they'll just keep him there as a keep him further ahead as a potential receiver. We'll see. They have to be careful though. They're up against a very fast catcher though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they could potentially put a guy here, maybe. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that could work. I wouldn't put him next to the... Oh, okay. Wait a minute, why did they do that? They could have done a... I'm pretty sure they had 1 extra movement allowance remaining. They could have just done a freaking handoff. But there you go, I suppose an extra SPP for him. Good on you, Finnock, after the reroll. Ah, there we go, now there's their last reroll for the Dark Elves, for the High Elves. And had to make a GFI. Oh, and he fails. Ouch. Well, that sucks. He didn't even pick up these guys, he should have done that at least. At least picked up the loner. Yeah, probably. Chances I probably wouldn't have blocked him anyway. So, yep, that's it. The Raddies will be able to score barring an incredible bout of bad luck. Now, let's see. As long as the only block of guys have got blocked, they should be fine. That should probably be the extent of their blocking, really. Should just run it in, and that is what they're going to do. Well, nicely done, Raddies. So, yes. Now, look at that. Both teams actually getting caught out of position in different points during the half. It makes you wonder what the second half is going to look like. Yep, there's still time. And I'm guessing that not much is going to happen in this turn, but we'll see what happens. So Raddy's relocating towards the rear. Don't know why they left this open though. They did have room to, you know, expand their lineup a bit more, but fine, why not? And I also would have actually expanded these guys out a bit further as well, but there you go. Elf team probably not going to be able to score another touchdown, we shall see. Oh, well, sucks to be him. And where the hell did the ball go? There, yeah. I think the way that they're set up, they're probably going to try a one-turn touchdown using enemy players to push their own. Yep, looks like they're going to try to do that, but they're going to be doing all of that with 0 rerolls. So, yep, and I'm pretty sure that they need these guys to be pushed initially, so I think they already can't do that. So yeah, I think they're just going to do a whole bunch of... Really? Okay. Oh, okay, he's got rest, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they're trying to do the one-turn touchdown anymore. And ouch. Well, what can you do? Probably should have blocked to this guy, actually. in case it did turn into both down or into double skulls. Oh, there you have it. So injuries on both teams, but yeah, otherwise, yeah, they're only linemen after all. Could be worse. Could be worse, mate. Just fast forward that. And I think the Raddies are on defense, if I'm not actually sure they're on offense. I think they're on defense. Well, wait a minute, did I just skip the, just do that? Huh. Yeah, they're on defense, alright. And getting another reroll, very nice. So rerolls, they haven't had to actually use all of them. At least not for the previous... Okay, not for the previous half. Yeah, we'll see how they go this time around, I guess. Interesting blocking. The guy doesn't have block. Oh, never mind. He actually did. Just let's bloody see the thing. Well, there you go. Interesting. Using the catcher as a frontline unit as well. Not moving forward with them though. I suppose I just want to keep him in the back just in case if they need to put a receiver forward, I suppose. Yes. That's what I'm assuming that's what he's doing. Okay, very nice. Probably going to go there. Nope. Of course he wants to keep him on the ball. Yes, because I can just dodge from that. Well, most likely anyway. Very nice. Still not sure why they didn't go for a throw. They probably did. But, yeah, they probably lost him. That's why they have that loner, who is not injured. The other guy is injured, though. Actually, where is the loner? Ah, there he is. Right at the front, picking up the ball. Yes. Yeah, Raddies can't really do too much about this. Yeah, if the Elven coach, High Elven coach, plays his cards right, he might at the very least be able to turn this into a draw. Just basically keep these guys carefully spaced out and nudge their way towards the touchdown zone. And there you go. Towards the end zone, should I say? Whatever. I think I know these terms by now, actually, but there you go. Whatever. Loner versus loner, you gotta love it. Oh, okay, some more. Well, why not? So we're gonna put him here or here, maybe. Put one here. So they have to be very careful though, they're positioning everyone on their right flank and with just one dodge, I mean this blitzer can go all the way towards the left, the catcher either with a dodge or just going around can also go quite a bit towards the left. It's... yeah. Raddies are going to be a bit out of position. Although interesting enough though, the... okay, half player probably using these guys as a screen. Yep, looks like he is. So probably going to be passing to the catcher then, keeping him inside the screen. Makes sense. Surprised I didn't put him a bit further forward actually. Okay. Well, just as well he had catch there. Interesting. Oh, I thought he was actually going to block him there. Guess not. Well, I guess this is relatively secure. Yeah, I don't know. He could have just blocked him. Nah, oh, whatever. Even dodging with a loner of all people. Well, what the hell? I suppose he's more focused on getting the touchdown rather than blocking. Still, I mean, he's got plenty of turns to get another touchdown anyway, unless if maybe he's hoping to get an early touchdown and then steal the ball from the Raddies as they try to score. It's going to be a bit tricky though, but we'll see what happens. In the case, yeah, down goes the rather flimsy screen of the Rats, and yeah, looks like they're just going to surround the ball carrier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Probably going to put him around here or something. Well, I was partially correct. Man, they really could do with a fraud though. Oh, what can you do? I'm guessing he's probably going to go around here, maybe? Or... nope, not quite. Interesting. Huh. Not going to follow that up, though. Alright then. We might be looking at a draw here, but let's just see what they'll do. Okay, so gonna push him back. Nicely done. Still, they're going to need to make a dodge happen though. Yeah, I was thinking actually we're going to oh, actually it was only a push though, so if it wasn't though, if it was defender down, then they could have pushed him into him and then pushed him away. Actually, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because it would have gone down anyway. Would have been no tackle zones on the ball carrier, but there you go. And down he goes. Ouch. Thank God for rerolls, eh? Because God knows that sort of stuff can happen. Maybe he should get dodge as his next thing. As his next skill up. Oh. Ouch, that's a bit of bad luck. Oh well. Still though, his ball carrier is relatively defended. Let's see, we've got one blitz here, one here. They've got a possible receiver here. I'm thinking they're probably going to try to free up the storm vermin and then probably use them for something. And nope. Ouch. Have to use the early reroll there. Sucks, but what can we do? Nope. I see. Dear me. Really? Actually, I wouldn't have bothered following that up myself, but there you go. So, maybe he's going to blitz and then just go onto the ball carrier. He could still just dodge away though, so... let's see, what is he going to do? He's blitzing though. Which direction is he going to go? Onto the ball carrier? Yep. Of course. Interesting, he might have just been better off doing a dodge in that case, but whatever. Because he had to do a dodge anyway to do that blitz. So he had to take the 1 out of 6 chance to fail on the dodge roll before he could even think about pushing him away. And still could have ended up with a... oh, really doing a pass to who? To him maybe? I don't know, but anyway. This could have ended up with both down results anyway, in which case if he didn't re-roll they would have just been staying in the same place anyway, so there you go. Not really sure what was the point of trying to throw though, unless if... oh, maybe he was trying to throw at this guy. Actually no, it was only a 2+ pass though, so it had to be this guy probably. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why they tried to do that. I mean, I can understand why they'd want to be fancy, but now's not the time for that. Wow, look at him go. I mean, they really should just been going for... oh. going for mitigating the risk as much as possible, rather than trying to go for unnecessary passes. As you can see now, they're getting into another hairy situation here. Interesting, dodging him away first. Probably should have gone for this first, but there you go. Since this would have been a 0 risk move. Huh. Okay. Wow. Well, I guess he was not going to re-roll that if that failed. Good job, lone alignment, I'll say that much. And as for ball carrier, he could potentially get out of this. He's going to need to lift this guy up. He should have done that beforehand. Oh, he's actually... oh, okay. Now he goes for the handoff. There we go. That's a bit more like it. Then going for the pass, and then a score most likely. Just better hope it works. Wow. Yeah, this is where a throw would really come in handy. And ouch. Well, I guess a throw would have still failed that, but at least he wouldn't have had to use up his last reroll to do that. Yep, that was his last reroll indeed. Well, I dare say the elf has... well, the high elf, should I say. He's had some bad luck, but at the same time though, I mean, if you look at the sort of game that is running, he is definitely leaving the ball somewhat exposed. Having to really rely on succeeding actions and not really having much to mitigate the risk of failing them. And away you go. Yep, thought so. Because yeah, I mean, I suppose it was a bit tricky because his guys were sort of bundled up anyway. That's another thing that the elf player should have watched out for. He should have not bunched up his guys so much. I mean, the Ratty player did that a bit in the first half, and yeah, it's kind of cost him a... what the... oh, okay. It kind of cost him a touchdown. I mean, the elf player might have still gotten the touchdown anyway, but yeah. Oh, down he goes. Better not foul that, eh? Indeed. But what the hell, we sure never know. So, 0 rerolls, his blitz is here. He could dodge, he's going to have to make 2 GF5s though. Is he going to go for it? I don't honestly see any other option for him. Oh, never mind, he can actually go with this guy. Okay. Well, that's not bad actually. Might as well just do that then. Yeah, then he has to make 1 dodge and 1 GFI. Which on the average will have 1/3 chance of failing, roughly. Okay, very nice. Or he could do that, yes. There you go. No GFIs. Now, will he be able to make it though? That is the question. Yes! Nicely done indeed. And he stunned him. Now, if he actually grabs the ball at the same time, that'd be great, but nope. It's going to be right there and fails to pick it up though. Very unfortunate. Still though, he is down 1 touchdown though. And he still needs to pick up the ball. Doesn't have sure hands, doesn't have pass. He's got the catcher here, but yeah. Catcher there, shall I say. Nope. But yeah, picking up the ball and actually getting it to the catcher is going to be a different matter altogether. Huh. Okay, I see, that's what he wanted to do, and so him, dodge. I'm not really sure if I'd go for the pickup personally, and yeah, looks like he agrees with that. Makes sense, and looks like we're actually starting to come up to the live portion of the game as well. In fact, the game might have actually have concluded by this point. Well, whatever. It was halfway through when I got into it, so yeah. And there we go, just stopping him from doing anything more, just dodging rats all day long it seems. Well, why not? He does have the rerolls for it, they're not exactly a dodging team. Well, they're regular rats aren't anyway, but... well, there you go. And just a push, but still is going to get onto the ball, and he might just have a chance of getting it. Maybe. Dodge, pick up, run around, or he could do a block, I suppose. Actually, where's his catcher? Oh, he actually ran all the way here, even. Okay, so probably bam, 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 bam. That could be the plan, maybe. 2, 3, 4, 5. Still carries a lot of risk though, especially since he's only got 1 turn after this one. Quite a bit is going to hinge on whether he can actually pick up the ball, and nope, not quite. Which is understandable, it's within 2 tackle zones, so yeah. You can only expect so much. And let's see. So he's going to have to do block here, push him away, blitz, hopefully get him off the ball, pick up the ball and score. Yep, I think the Raddies have got this. Oh, or they can do that actually. That's not too bad either, didn't even have to make a GFI. Huzzah. Okay, and... really? Oh, I see. Bam, bam. Alright, well, why not, I guess. And it's still only 1 out of 3 chance to fail picking up the ball, 1 out of 9 chance with the reroll. Yep, away they go. No long-term effect though, nothing too serious. So will they be able to get it? Nope, but they do have the reroll, and let's see, can they get it? Second time's a charm, and oh! Ouch. Well, that sucks. Ah, well, he does still have a few possible rats who could just pick up the ball and run with it, but yeah, that kind of sucks though. Snake eyes. Ah, well. As they say, Knuckles always smiling, you just don't know which side he's supporting. And there we go, they can just run it in with him anyway. And yep, looks like that's what they're going to do. Not even going to bother doing any blitzes with blockers. Blitzers, should I say, Storm Vermin. And there you have it. I think that was the actual... Yeah, I think that was it actually. No more turns after that. Still very nicely done. 3-1. Spectacular game for the Raddies. Kawaii as hell. There you have it. Kind of wish they'd show the victory animation at the end of replays, but they do not. Actually, almost getting almost as many armor breaks as the High Elf team did. Interesting. Okay, with more blocks, I suppose. Both teams running plenty, and Raddies passing a bit further. Well, there we go. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I shall see you all next time.